Hi guys, this is DP0427 here, and today I thought I'd start something new. So recently, a lot of people have been complaining about the physical tankiness of most of the popular team compositions in the PvP meta, which got me thinking about how to deal with that. And I think one of the most interesting and fun ways to deal with that is going from a completely different angle, that being special damage or intelligence. And I'm going to be calling this series Smarty Pants, as I'll be looking at a bunch of different team compositions with intelligence-based characters or intelligence in their kits. So when we think about intelligence and special damage, the first place to look at is the mystic part of your roster. So the first characters I'll be looking at here are the two newest characters to this roster is Etrigan and John Constantine. Etrigan is pretty much the best special damage dealer you can have with multiple upfront attacks, AoE, self-buffing. He pretty much does it all, and he's really fast. And then you have John Constantine, who is pretty much a enabler for many different compositions with a lot of handy debuffs. He can call assist, he can put taunts on people. He does a lot for what he brings to the table. Then you have Mira, who in my opinion is probably the best support in the game, with damage immunity and heal immunity on her in her kit. Then speaking of heal immunity, Dr. Fate has two different moves that allowed you to apply heal immunity. He's also the only character in the game that can apply team-wide intelligence buffs. So definitely important character to look at there. Next, moving on. With the other mystical characters on the roster, you also have a variety of healers like Zatanna, Enchantress, and Star Sapphire, who all do sort of different things. Enchantress applies overheal to everybody, which enables a lot of different team compositions. She also has a handy AoE that can trigger off her passive. Star Sapphire works with buff and debuff strategies, can heal herself as well as a teammate at the same time. And Zatanna is probably the best AoE healer amongst all the healers in the game, but unfortunately she doesn't overheal currently. But she also does a lot of upfront damage with her hat trick. Then you also have Raven, who is the special damage version of Aquaman, I guess you could say, as she nullifies some incoming critical damage, and she's also enables some sort of counterattacking strategies as well. So definitely someone to look out for as well. Then you get to the end of the Mystic roster with Sinestro and Shazam and Black Adam. The reason why I put Shazam and Black Adam here is because, like Sinestro, they were pretty much the hardest characters to get in-game at the beginning of the game's inception. Sinestro is probably one of the more interesting characters with a lot of buffing and death immunity, mending, and a lot of upfront damage, and especially his revive mechanic, which is very handy in tight spots. Then you have Shazam and Black Adam, who are mixed damage dealers, being both special and regular damage dealers, and also being really good intelligence tanks. So not only can they deal decent special damage, but they can also take decent special damage as well as regular damage. So definitely some characters to look out for when you're building these teams. Then you get to the green part, or the energy part of the special damage dealers, and most notably recently Jessica Cruz getting a rework made her viability that much more potent. So she's arguably one of the best special damage green characters out there at the moment. One of my personal favorites, Livewire, back when the speed crit meta was all the rage. The fact that she was so fast with so much upfront special damage made her a very, very scary character to go up against. And then you have interesting characters like Captain Cold. As a leader, he enables a lot of counterattacking strategies. He is sort of a control type character with his speed downs and turn meter control, as well as some sort of debuffing and other handy dandy abilities built into his kit. Then you have Mr. Nuke Boy, which is Firestorm. The idea behind him is sort of building up buffs, stacking them up high, and letting his nuke loose when you're ready to sort of spend his payload. Then you get into some more control elements of the green energy spectrum, with Killer Frost being a sort of stun-based special damage dealer. So she fits the control role pretty well and fits on not just a special damage dealing team, but also a stun based composition as well. Then you have Mirror Master, who pairs very well with Captain Cold, as we mentioned earlier, and is probably more infamous now with Clayface, as those two pair really, really well together with all the speed downs being thrown around. It's important to note that both Mirror Master, Superman, and Martian Manhunter are all mixed damage dealers. However, Mirror Master's basic turns into special damage once he's invisible, whereas Superman and Martian Manhunter both have regular damage and special damage moves in their kit. Therefore, they're not purely intelligence-based characters, but they are sort of mixed damage dealers and also mixed tanks as well. And then you get into the end of the greens with Chemo, and I don't think we really have to go into Chemo that much more. If you're already subscribed to this channel, you already know who Chemo is, so I won't get into that too much. And then we get into the physical characters, and then when it comes to physical special damage dealers, as the name sort of implies, there aren't that many special damage dealers in this category. However, Dr. Poison is one of the most unique physical characters, as she's purely special damage based. Much like Chemo, she's the sort of bleed-based equivalent with the special damage there. Then you have Joker, Clown Prince of Crime, who is sort of a mixed special and regular damage dealer. And paired with Harley Quinn, Joker and Harley Quinn both apply intelligence downs to the enemy team. So although they're not upfront intelligence-based characters, having intelligence downs in their kit make them interesting, as they sort of indirectly buff your special damage dealers by applying intelligence downs to the rest of the team. So, getting into it, I was going to wait until I got a lot of my characters at a higher gear level, but thanks to a new introduction of the Blitz part of the PvP arena, now that we're getting a lot more lower level matches when Blitz starts up at the beginning of the day, it'll allow me to sort of show you guys some different team compositions even with my lower geared out characters. So following this video, you'll be seeing a bunch of different team compositions of me going up against opponents in the Blitz arena, and hopefully it'll give you guys some ideas of how to build special damage based teams to attack the physical based meta that we're currently looking at. So that's all for now. Hope this helps.